I don't know why every time I do this stupid intro.
Yeah.
Welcome. I mean, that's it. That's the intro. Welcome to episode 14 of the official League of Kyle's Rivals Not Stupid podcast. I'm your host, Mike, as always with Alex. And no video because internet stinks, Lucho.
Well, who knows if he's even there? He might not even be there.
I know he might have left.
No, I left.
Oh,
Should just be silent the entire time.
Yeah, we've been gone for a couple weeks. I know all 10 of you didn't miss us.
I think we only got 9 views last time.
Well, the season's starting. It's only going to go up from here. But we actually have news. We're not reaching for content for the first time ever.
Biggest news is the new host site for us recording.
Oh my God! Well, because Zoom apparently is actually enforcing. I guess they want people to pay.
Shit.
That's stupid. So we're doing this on Skype. Which, listen, I'll give Zoom credit. They're the best ones as far as video and the interface and recording. But I mean, it is what it is.
Our
budget's zero.
It really isn't saying much that Zoom is the best of that because they're still a fucking disaster.
Yeah, their whole thing crashed the other morning or whatever I read. Jeez. So, and then school's starting. Yeah. Hey, school's starting. I heard everyone needs Zoom. It's not free anymore. But yeah, we have a lot of news. We have running back news. We have waiver news. We have trade news. I'll let Alex kind of kick off.
Don't forget the week 1 previews. That's the main event of the entire episode.
Oh, yeah.
We do a podcast about a fantasy league. We actually get to talk about fantasy matchups for real now.
I love it.
We're recording
in 8
this.
Days.
I was gonna say we're recording this on Tuesday, September 2nd.
It's Wednesday.
The first game is the 10th.
Bro, I thought it was Tuesday all day.
It's Wednesday.
Did I just say Tuesday?
You said
Tuesday.
Tuesday.
You did say Tuesday.
Wow, yeah, no, it's definitely Wednesday. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Mike's drunk.
You know, Tanisha said when I talked to her today, she asked something from Alexa, and Alexa was like, "Yeah, it's today, Wednesday, September 2nd." She goes, "It's Wednesday?
Right.
What?" It's even weirder for me. I have off of work on Friday, so it just actually feels like a Tuesday for me now, you know, or Thursday.
Wait.
What does it actually feel like? I don't know. I might have said that backwards. I don't know what day it is. None
of us can tell time.
Well, I don't
time
know.
doesn't exist.
Time is illusion in the bubble.
I'm working a 5-day week again, and I don't know what day it is. So there's that.
Oh shit! Speaking of the bubble.
All right, yeah. Oh, am I supposed to kick stuff off? Is that where we were going before?
I mean, yeah, whatever. However you'd like to start us off.
Yeah, sure. So we'll talk about some of the recent waiver claims that have been going on in the league. Number 1, we just had waivers clear today about an hour prior to this. Mike Kane, I saw you picked up. You know what? Before I even talk about the waivers, let's start with the news because it makes more sense here. Biggest news is Leonard Fournette, everyone knows, got cut by the Jags now, and actually breaking news as about 10 minutes ago, he's now been signed by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So
who broke that? Rappaport?
Yeah, and then Schefter just confirmed it too. Mm-hmm. So congrats to Tom Pop that Fournette's value didn't tank as crazy as it could have.
Yeah.
So at least he's probably a starter there. I don't know what you guys think the split will be, if there is one at all.
I mean, just looking at Tampa Bay's roster. I mean, just looking at the team, I feel like they like Ronald Jones enough that you heard enough buzz, even if he was sort of maybe lackluster.
Well, 5 hours ago, I forget who it was. I was just reading a tweet of someone that was like, "Yeah, Ronald Jones looks like he's gonna be a workhorse back," and it was like a major. Who was it? I wish I could remember who it was.
Are we sure that's not just continuing the trend of every beat writer saying, just copy paste the same article about every player? The training camp looks good.
Looks good.
They look. They're all definitely football players.
James Palmer looks like Ronald Jones will get the bulk of the work in the Bucs backfield. Here's why, and he has a little clip explaining what's going on 5 hours ago.
No.
I also just got a note. just got a notification that Fournette signed a 1-year, $3.5 million deal, which apparently is a max. Oh no, has a max value of $3.5 million. All right, there we go. Some incentive based, I guess.
I mean, I guess I'm surprised that it was the Bucks, even though you look at like a team like Philly could have been in the mix because they wanted Carlos Hyde. I feel like I heard the rumors of Kansas City maybe.
That was an early,
interested.
Early rumors were swirling about.
I think
New England rumors too.
Yes,
well,
New England made a lot of sense.
Obviously, I mean, how many people tweeted the Bill Belichick walking out meme all the time? But I mean, Tampa Bay, I guess I don't get it. I mean, you spend all the money. I mean, I guess I'll take it back by saying $3.5 million for 1 year is max is sort of nothing for a guy with the potential of Fournette and his ability. So I guess it's not so much I don't get it, but it's like if a guy got cut for essentially being a dick in the locker room, which is kind of what it seems like, why would you bring that around? Maybe, Tom Brady's here, he'll keep him in line. Like I kind of don't get it. And the stacked running back room that Tampa kind of had, I'm surprised that they went Fournette direction as well.
Is it really stacked though? I get all the talk about Ronald Jones, but Bruce Arians coming out saying newly drafted Keyshawn Vaughn, maybe he'll just play on special teams or something. Like he sounds like he hates him, which is pretty, normal for Bruce Arians.
Well, Well, that just stinks for. Because Keyshawn Vaughn is probably. I know he was a second-round pick in our rookie draft, but I'm sure overall he was. And you had some people saying, "Oh, would you take him late first?" So I feel like it's a big drop-off for him from April, May until now, going through training camp.
Yeah. So I was asking you guys this before, but I almost feel like this spot isn't much different than Jacksonville, to be honest, or what we were going to see. Obviously, I think most of us thought that Fournette wasn't going to be as good as last year. Wasn't going to have as many targets, most likely, with Chris Thompson there and Jay Gruden having their relationship from being in Washington. Going to Tampa, even if he's splitting a little bit of work with Ronald Jones and Dario Gumawale, I still think generally that's pretty close to what he was probably going to do in Jacksonville. And he's obviously on a better team. So
yeah,
it's good for running backs.
Yeah.
What I want to know, what Bruce Arians' usual rotation is for running backs, because I know the narrative is he wants a 3-down back. And that's why he went to he can push to draft Keyshawn Vaughn and stuff like that. But I don't know if that's completely true. Granted, he's had backs like Andre Ellington and shit.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was
I'm gonna look into that because I'm kind of interested in cutting through that narrative and seeing if there's any thread of truth in the middle of that.
Did he get a full top David Johnson year in Arizona?
Yes.
And so I guess you can kind of look at those.
David Johnson's sophomore year, which was his best year.
Okay, so you can kind of look at that usage and kind of compare it. I guess that's the best you have.
But that's David Johnson. I feel like there's a notable talent difference there that maybe Fournette doesn't bridge that gap.
Yeah, David Johnson just as a receiving back is so much better than Fournette. Fournette got a lot of targets and he's able to do it, but it's still not as dynamic as.
Yeah, right. It's not even to compare the player. It's kind of just all right, I've got this talented running back. How did I use him? Type of comparison, I guess. It's kind of all you got with Bruce Arians. But look, for fantasy, look, like you said, it's probably similar to Jacksonville. I think Fournette's still a pretty good running back too. If you're going in, if you want him as your running back 1, I think you were having problems even before him leaving Jacksonville. But as a running back 2, flex, you're fine.
Yeah, for our league, it's Tom's running back 2, which is fine. Yeah. He has Dalvin Cook already, and then Lev Bell still as his flex, or I guess if he's not playing all 3 of them.
His guy that he always thinks, maybe I'll start him, and then he doesn't.
Yeah, exactly. One of those. And we'll lead now into Jacksonville because without Fournette there's a bunch of no names. We got Chris Thompson is the most notable name. obviously PPR guy. We've got Raquel Armstead, who's now a second-year player, who a lot of people were drafting last year because was a pretty high-valued handcuff because prior to last year, Fournette couldn't stay healthy. So also Mike Cain's new pickup, now that we're getting back to that, Divine Ozigbo, is that how you say his name?
Yes.
Ozigbo, yeah.
Yes, you picked him up for $16, and nobody else put a bid on.
Look, when I was putting it in, I was like, in my head, I'm like, maybe this might be a decent stash because, again, if you want to believe the Dynasty subreddit, which you shouldn't, they love him there, and everyone thinks that Raquel Armstead's gonna bust. Nope, he's not good. He doesn't look good in camp. Whatever you want to say, but I just like ultimately, I don't think any of them are fantasy relevant. Like you said, Chris Thompson is at best maybe a fringe flex. But Jacksonville is going to have to throw the ball so much. Like this is going to be.
That's why Chris Thompson could be valuable because their team is so awful.
I think it's for fantasy purposes. I think Gardner Minshew is going to be the Blake Bortles garbage time part 2 because I think that's going to. I think for almost that, I know it's getting away from the running backs, but I think he's going to be a lot higher rated fantasy wise than nothing else for that, but. Yeah, running back wise, I don't think any of them have tremendous value. But in a league with 28 roster spots, I figured he was worth a stash. And I didn't want to miss out on him by underbidding, and which clearly I didn't have to. But the $16 was weird because I'm like, what if someone throws $10 or $15 at him? Let me do like just a random number above that. Was my thinking in the weird $16 number, but obviously not.
Mike, you wouldn't have had to worry about that if you did it early in the day, as we've learned.
Yes. Which was that last week? We had a waiver tiebreaker.
Oh, sorry. Yes, tiebreaker last week. Lucha, for some reason, I forgot already what you were referring to. I was like, earlier in the day. What is that? Yeah, last week, Luch, you putting a $3 bid in for Scotty Miller when I also put a $3 bid in for him, but because you had your claim in, I don't know, maybe about 3.5 hours prior to mine, that was the final tiebreaker in the offseason since normal tiebreakers are record, points scored, and then I usually by points scored, there's nothing else. You don't need to keep going down the line, So.
And that's what you want to see. A guy who is always grinding every day, getting up nice, bright and early, doing his fantasy work, his due diligence, getting ahead of the major or the minor grinders.
I think you put the claim in at like 4:30 in the afternoon. It was maybe 3:30 or something.
Yeah, I would have never known that was a tiebreaker otherwise.
It's just the off season. I remember switching it to that because I thought of this way earlier that doesn't make any sense that these other tiebreakers are still applied because the system wouldn't know what to do, and then who knows who they would give it to. So, one other thing on Jacksonville too. I've been hearing some hype about James Robinson. I guess.
Yeah, that's the guy that I'm interested in. He was undrafted, but he has a really pretty good profile and good production.
So I mean, obviously, none of us care enough to put a bid in on him, but I'm curious to see what happens.
That's a we'll wait and see.
Yeah. A couple other pickups, some from last week.
Before we go on, I did look up the splits, and it looks like compared to Jacksonville, Arians has a pretty similar rush percent, but he uses his lead back less than Doug Marrone has in the past couple of years.
Okay.
It's only a few percentage points, and then you have Jay Gruden who tends towards the rush more, so. Not in Tampa, in Jacksonville. So I feel like it's going to be like probably even, like you said.
Is Doug Marrone counting Buffalo or just his Jacksonville years?
Just the Jacksonville years.
Okay.
It was lucky that he was able to. I mean, lucky for Tom that Fournette went somewhere where he's this valuable. If he did go to Kansas City, like the rumors were going on, he was going to be a backup to CEH.
Absolutely.
So.
Yeah, with that would have been interesting because then. I mean, I think for our league, it would have sucked for Tom, but I think for Alex Hochberg with CEH, it kind of wouldn't have mattered because, it's essentially going to be a lost year for him anyway.
Yeah, he'd probably prefer that, less points. So,
right,
less chance of CEH getting hurt.
That's true. That's true, and we don't even know. CEH might suck. Who knows?
Yeah, right. Who knows? Yeah, it's just because these guys are at the top of these drafts doesn't necessarily guarantee their success. Still have to actually perform. Because as we know, coaches don't give a shit about fantasy production, which I don't understand. Makes billions. But anyway.
Now, a couple of pickups just to bring up. They're not very important, but last week Tom picked up Ryan Nall after some other running back news, which I'll bring up. He picked up Ryan Nall for $4. He's I would say a blocking specialist for Chicago, and that was because David Montgomery. Luch, I don't know if you want to explain that one.
Yeah, he was carted off, and then he wasn't carted off, and then he was, and then he wasn't. I went through the 5 stages of grief in about 50 seconds. And then...
Legend, yeah.
Yeah.
Legend has it that the cart is still circling.
The cart is still trying to find... He's still trying to find David Montgomery to this day. He apparently got a moderate groin strain. A lot of the sports docs that I follow online said that it's probably fine. And the fact that they didn't go too hard at Fournette probably means they think he's going to start in time. But that's an injury that can linger, so he's probably
so
gonna...
you as the dynasty manager of a team with Montgomery on it, how do you feel about your running back core?
I'm pretty fine with it, honestly. I've always kind of viewed Montgomery as my end of bench starter running back. I do have, even with Zach Moss around, I have more faith in Singletary because he just showed more.
That's true. Yeah. I forgot about Singletary. I totally forgot he was on your team. All right. We also, speaking of your running back core, we have something to talk about a little later in the show there. But a couple other pickups. I picked up Trent Taylor, who I tried to flip immediately to Lucho. And Dennis picked up Wayne Gallman this week for $0. So, I'm sure.
Where does Wayne Gallman... He's still in New York?
Yeah, he is in New York, and there was a report that came out or I don't know if it was a report or just a quote, but basically it was saying that they think that Wayne Gallman could handle the full load if Saquon went down. So,
so no matter what, basically Deion Lewis is there to be a third down catching back and nothing more, even if Saquon went down.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. So, all right, moving on. We got some cut deadline coming up on Monday at 8 p.m. For anyone listening before then, remember to make your cuts. We have as of now.
We cut your 4 best players, right?
Yes, yeah. I cut the 4 best players if you don't do it, or however many you need to cut.
And
just make sure you get down to 28 players on your roster.
If you complain about it to you add them to your roster.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, 28 players, make sure that's your roster. Anyone that's on IR doesn't count towards the 28. So technically, as of now, you could have 31 on your entire team if 3 guys are on IR. Make sure those guys on IR are also valid IR players, because if they're not, I'm kicking them off.
Smart, yeah.
And Mike, I'll swing it back to you as our normal lead host here. Talk about some trades here if you want to announce.
Okay. So me and Lucho with the biggest help each other trade, which it started as I offered some low end deal for, I think it was Gabriel Davis, and then the counter to that was this blockbuster with Julio and Derrick Henry and DJ Chark, and it was a whole thing back and forth, and then we ended up just Derrick Henry for Julio Jones straight up.
Yep.
So it was kind of all right, now I have a top receiver and you have a top running back whose values were probably the same. Maybe 2 firsts was the asking price, and you just help each other out, I guess. The big handshake.
Mm-hmm. The big hand job. I agree.
I mean, I feel like for me, I have the running back depth to do that, and I felt my team was missing that big time top 5 receiver that hopefully I have now in Julio Jones for the next at least couple of years.
At least the next one.
Right. See, that's the thing. That's part of the reason why I got kind of cold on him, and that's why I was more okay with giving him up for a running back that's probably already at his age apex and probably only going to be truly an RB1 material for another 2 years.
Maybe 2, yeah.
Only because he has fewer carries on him in the
I think
NFL.
that was also why, because originally I think you wanted Josh Jacobs, but I couldn't. I was it got to, it was one of those like it was
I
one of
made
those
the
like, oh, I
Josh
have
Jacobs
trade
offer, and you
block.
immediately updated your trade bait, and he was notably missing, and I was like,
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah, because I forgot why I might have thrown him on there just for the like, oh, maybe I'll get like a ridiculous offer, but then it was like, all right, I'm actually not going to trade him if I don't have
Yeah,
to.
you started getting offers for Josh Jacobs. One from me. I think you got another one
Yeah,
from I don't remember who it was, but you started getting just Josh Jacobs offers from people, and you're like,
and it was like, it's and then when I really look at it, I'm like, well, why am I going to trade this guy? So yeah, I took him off. But Derrick Henry, I was okay with it because, like you said, he's already been doing this how long, how many years of just the tough workhorse back. We clearly know that only goes so far. I don't think Derrick Henry is going to be a Frank Gore type of guy to still be around when he's 35.
yeah, that I've always said Mark Ingram could end up being the Frank Gore type of guy. Just the way he's played over the years, it's not crazy usage.
yeah.
And,
Oh yeah, especially earlier in his career. For the first like 3 years in New Orleans, was it that they were only like using him part-time?
Yep. Well, New Orleans uses everyone part time. I was just talking to Mike about this too when some other news came out. They've had the RBBC for like the past decade.
It's just that their RBs have been really productive, so it doesn't seem that way.
Yeah, exactly. But okay, next trade, Mike. You got another one on the list?
Yeah. Let's see. Kyle Allen for a 4th-round pick and $10, 10 blind
Big
$10.
Big
I
$10.
mean, it's kind of one of those like, I'll take a stab. If Haskins sucks, maybe I got something. If not, add it to the list of backup quarterbacks on my team that are just taking up spots, but I can't cut them because it's this fucking super flex. I have to roster bullshit. Is pretty much what that was.
Okay.
You offered a 3rd, and I'm like, 4th.
I know Luch has Nick Mullins and Case Keenum on his team, so
I mean, why not?
I've thrown out some offers. I've thrown out some Nick Mullins on the end of that hook.
Nick Mullins, who's been on so many people's teams now, he's definitely been on mine at some point. He's been on Dennis's.
Oh yeah, he's the town bicycle.
Yeah,
everybody gets a ride.
That's all right. It usually works that way. That's how Kenyon Drake ended up on Phil's team.
Yeah. Which Kenyon Drake, why is he still like worried about him, even though he's out of his walking boot now?
I don't know. Maybe we should have a call in from Phil sometime, and we'll figure out if he how he feels. Yeah, I don't know. He was worried about him before the walking boot thing, though. It's just like in general, he was not very confident in Kenyon Drake.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that I remember when we were talking to him about trading for a running back, he basically was saying, "I don't want to trade these rookie running backs he has, but Drake and James Conner are on the table. You want to make an offer." So, I mean, I tried to get him. Just Phil saying, "Yeah, he's on the table, make an offer," but then values him pretty highly still. So even if he's quote worried about him, he's still valued pretty high. So, couple other trades. I know I traded Deshaun Hamilton to Anthony for a 2022 4th-round pick, and I also traded a 2022 3rd and a 2021 4th-round pick for Nyheim Hines, which that was more. Well, one, I like Nyheim Hines a lot. Yes. I think he could have a 2018 Austin Eckler type season. Don't think 2019. Just more like just under 1,000 total scrimmage yards and 6 total touchdowns. I think it was
like a Tariq Cohen.
Yeah, and about 40 to 50 receptions. So that's pretty solid as a hey, I need to throw a PPR floor guy into my starting lineup in case of emergency. And not only do I think his value could go up over the next year, and then maybe if someone else needs a running back, if someone's, a lot of running backs get hurt. If someone needs someone, I could flip him. Or at the time, I wasn't sure if Joe Mixon was going to be holding out or what was going on there. So I was like, let me just get a guy that if I really need to throw in my lineup, I can.
Yeah.
So I think that's it for trades.
I think the Henry for Julio one was like the big notable one.
And everything else.
The rest were all like depth deals.
Yes, everything else involved my team, and they were just all little moves.
Right.
A couple of them, me offloading some of these guys is just because, like Kyle Allen has some value to him, whereas a guy like a guy like Mike Boone probably doesn't. So like instead of instead of me having to, I don't know. I have Andrew Luck on my team, and I don't want to cut Andrew Luck. So I'm trying to trade some guys that actually have value so I could keep a guy like Andrew Luck and not have to drop him for nothing. And then even if it came down to Mike Boone, like if I was able to trade enough guys, I'd still like to keep him on my team. But if I get to the point where I still have too many people on my roster, it's going to be guys like Mike Boone that get cut that don't matter.
I think the cuts are just, I mean, like the Superflex, if nothing else, Superflex makes this year's cuts interesting because I can probably easily cut Mason Rudolph, but it's just one of those where it's a body where you may need him, even as bad as he looked. Like it's just that tough. Like you never want to drop that guy that if he ever bounces back. And just, I mean, I do not want Mason Rudolph. I can't flip him for anything, but I feel like I can't cut him because if for some reason he, like, especially Big Ben's already, how old, you figure other people. Exactly. You figure Eli Manning's already gone from that class, Phillip Rivers is probably right behind there, and same with him, coming off his injuries, and no one else is there. So if Big Ben goes down or doesn't perform, it's Mason Rudolph again. And it's like, I'd hate to
roster. Or is it Duck Hodges?
God, you want to have a 2-hour podcast on who was fucking worse?
It should have been Jameis Winston. I still think they should have signed him.
They absolutely should have. I completely agree. I think the part of the reason was Winston felt like he had a more direct starting, like a path to a starting job behind Breeze.
Dude, I would fire Mason Rudolph into the sun if you could give me Jameis Winston. Like, are you serious? Like, that's an absolute. That's
a stipulation in the contract.
And like, don't forget also
I need to
on
see this man
Pittsburgh,
catapulted.
They have Paxton Lynch on their roster.
Do they actually still?
Man.
Oh, good lord!
Yeah.
Former Jerry Jones.
It's just like it wasn't like Arizona was the only offer with Kyler Murray there. Like Pittsburgh would have been perfect for Winston. He's 10 times better than Rudolph and Dodges if you put them together.
Dodges.
I
thought that was Kalen Ballage's nickname.
Rodgers.
But it's just, I don't know. It's just silly, some of this stuff. But
it's got to be like contract stuff behind the scenes.
I'm sure, but I mean, Mason Rudolph's younger. He's the cheaper option, so I get it. But it's just, God, he had every opportunity and he looked so bad. But again, that's why cuts I think are difficult, at least for someone like me, because I have certain guys I'm not necessarily interested in cutting, but probably will have to just because. Like I'm already doing that. Let me throw out these bullshit offers and see if I can get any asset for some of these guys, but I doubt it's going to happen.
Well, see, you're doing it the wrong way then. You're throwing out offers for guys that you're going to be cutting anyway. I'm throwing out offers for guys that I would like. They're not
so much cutting. I'm dangling like Robbie Anderson, but there's no interest.
Oh, okay, gotcha. I was gonna say there's no way I was like cutting Kyle Allen. So
no, right, but no, it's just one of those like no, I'm not. It's not like once I like Justice Hill I cut. Once I couldn't get a fourth for him, I said, all right, well that's that. See you later.
Yeah, Justice Hill. They were saying that he is projected to make the roster. I guess there was some possibility that he wouldn't be, which would have been better for his fantasy value if he didn't make the Baltimore roster, and went somewhere else.
Now he has absolutely no shot. Again, another dynasty subreddit casualty. They were in love with him last year.
Lots of people loved him. Like I knew numbers guys that really liked him too.
That's why I obviously I took him late, but that's why I took him in our startup. But whatever. How many guys did that happen to? Every year.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't wait for 2 years from now when whoever got drafted like high this year ends up sucking.
Vaughn?
Oh man, yeah.
Keyshawn Vaughn, yeah.
Yeah, because it was just a running back going to Tampa Bay, which was one of the better spots.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. How much
that was
changed.
Part of it. You never know. Even CEH could fucking suck.
Would you consider ever moving the rookie draft back, or should it always be May?
Oh, I love it right after the NFL draft. I'd always prefer it to be April, like literally the day after the NFL draft.
No, right. Like I have no issue moving it, but like you read the if you scroll like the subreddit enough, there's people that like haven't had their rookie drafts yet.
Yeah, no, I hate that.
What? No.
Because they want to know every ounce of information, whereas like, it's the perfect time is right after the NFL draft because you're paying so much attention to these guys just on an NFL level. So.
Yeah, that's true. I'm with you on that, but I'm the complete opposite mind of the subreddit and dudes that say that they want it, that they haven't had it yet. I would even want to do it before the draft.
Oh, I would love to do it before the draft as well, but that's not fair to a couple people that don't pay enough attention.
No, I agree completely.
Listen, let's just do the 2021 draft like now.
Right now.
Like before the college season starts. Let's just
half the
face
players,
it now.
half the first rounders have opted out. Let's just do that. Fuck it. Rondale Moore.
I remember when I had the 2.04 before the draft, I was like trying to figure out some guys that I could be possibly going for before I traded that pick to you, Luch.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh well, I could probably get Justin Jefferson. I'd be reaching here a little bit for him, but then look what happens. You get a little bit of hype heading up to the draft, and then he gets drafted in the first round, and he's now a first round pick. So it's like, and then I was also looking at Brian Edwards, who ended up in our draft going in the third round, but I mean now he'd go a lot higher, probably closer to that pick
after all the hype that he's getting.
But there were just there's guys that you were thinking like I might be able to get, and like even before the draft, like before people declared for the draft, I was like, oh, with the 2.4, I might be able to get Najee Harris.
Yeah, right.
Because at the time, it was like Chuba Hubbard, Najee Harris, Travis Etienne were all in this class as well. So I was like, I mean, one of those running backs would have fell that far.
I'm going to throw one more. There were some rumblings about Anthony once again had Derek Carr on his trade block. And we spent 2 days going back and forth and nothing got done, surprisingly.
Are negotiations over?
Yes. Whatever. Like my offers were rejected this morning, and no, I was asked. Whatever. One of my offers was 2 seconds. I was asked, "Can I add a third?" I said, "No, I'm not going any higher." And then the two, I had 2 offers. They were both rejected, so I'm done.
Yeah, I get that. I've been intrigued by Carr every time I see he's on his trade block, and then I click him and I see that he's already 30, and I'm like, oh shit.
Well, he did this over the summer, and because originally this was a few months ago, he said he wanted a quarterback back in a trade for Carr. I said that's not happening. Like you don't just teams don't swap quarterbacks. Like I'm coming to you for Carr because I need a quarterback, and you clearly seem to have a surplus, which he doesn't, but still he's rebuilding. At least there was more willingness to make a deal with.
Well, I mean, you could assume that Anthony is going to have one of the top quarterbacks in this draft class, if not the top.
The top,
yeah. I think his team is
Trey Lance.
Worst, kind of. I think there's actually a gap now between his team and some other teams on how bad his team is.
Right. If the couple things could have bounced his way, but I guess seemingly not really. Well, no, I said that he traded Fournette a year ago because he foresaw him.
Yeah, but now Fournette's on Tampa, so
it was all useless. But I mean, yeah, like trade rumors and stuff. I think that's kind of it. That was like the only other.
I know you informally offered me 2/3 for Tyrod Taylor.
I did, yes. I figured if you said yes, I would have said okay.
And I said no. And I said that basically Tyrod Taylor, he's important to my team now, with obviously Mahomes is my QB, but for the Superflex spot, I still don't know what Drew Lock is. I'm not even expecting him to be my starter. I'm expecting Roethlisberger to be my Superflex starter.
Yeah.
But if Roethlisberger coming off this injury, if he's not the same, Tyrod Taylor is a good fill-in for probably most of this year.
Yeah, dude, I love your QB room. Aside from Roethlisberger being old.
So you like Tyrod, Mahomes, and Locke?
I like don't like Mahomes and Locke. I like Tyrod Taylor. He's my guy.
Yeah, I really like Mahomes. I think I'm I'm on an island here, but I really like that guy.
I don't know. It's a pretty hot take.
I just don't know if Luch is gonna keep talking.
I know.
Does it keep cutting out? I'll cut out and you can't hear me or something?
Well, it's like we can hear you kind of, but then we don't know if you stopped talking or it just cut off.
You know what it might be? Maybe I'm not close enough to the mic.
Well, maybe I'm not close enough to the yeah, I think that was it for trade rumors. Though I don't have anything else. I don't know if Luch, did you have you heard anything?
No, not really. I mean, I've sent out bullshit offers for players that I'm thinking about cutting, but otherwise, not really.
I guess the only other thing I'll say is, did I offer Robbie Anderson to almost every team in the league for a second dangling it?
Oh,
Maybe.
A Phil strategy? When he's offered Marvin Jones to every team for a second?
I might have.
Are you leaning into the mic on the witness stand?
Yes.
I didn't get one of these offers.
Well, you didn't have a second to offer, and
But
I
I
feel
have
like
2 seconds.
Oh, do you want Robbie Anderson for a second?
For Anthony's 21 second? Yeah, no thanks.
Okay.
And then I have, I think, my own 22 second.
Do you want him for that 22 second?
Yeah, no thanks.
All right then. See, that's why I didn't
I can give you that fourth you just gave me.
Nah.
All right, so moving on, we have some running back news. We already spoke on Montgomery and Fournette. I think Alvin Kamara is the other big news.
That holdout / not holdout. He's at the facility, but he's not practicing.
They're unexcused, but he got a shot in his back, so I don't know how that's.
He got an epidural, yeah.
That team with Drew Brees and Sean Payton, who may both be coming towards the end of their Saints run, you're not trading Alvin Kamara. You're trying to win a Super Bowl this year. It's not happening. They'll do what they want, and not to mention that you paid Taysom fucking Hill $21 million. So if you're gonna nickel and dime your actual good player, then you deserve all the grief.
What a fucking joke.
I don't think Sean Payton's actually coming to the close. I thought for a little bit there, maybe, but it was because I think everyone was assuming he would love to go be the coach of Dallas, but with McCarthy there now, he's still at least a couple years until that opens back up.
I was gonna say, are we sure McCarthy's a long-term?
I don't know. We can ask our resident Cowboys fan if he's still a Cowboys fan. I don't even know if he is.
I'm a fan of Jerry Jones getting hit by a car.
I thought you were just gonna end it there. I'm a fan of Jerry Jones.
I don't know. That seems like the kind of thing, because it seems like they're giving the game plans the offensive game plans to Kellen Moore. And that means that if it's successful, then McCarthy will probably take a lot of the credit and he'll be fine.
I mean, the roster's good enough. I mean, it's not like. I mean, I feel like McCarthy's lucked out. He's always had a very good quarterback. I don't think he's ever had to deal with much crap. I guess at least he's had that benefit. Maybe guys get growing tired of him in Green Bay, so maybe.
Yeah,
but that took a long time though.
Wasn't
he was there
he
for
in
a while.
Miami for a year, or am I thinking of somebody else?
I don't know.
There was some former Packers coach.
I mean, it was him and then Mike Holmgren before him, right?
I believe so.
I feel like the Packers are one of those things that when they hire a new coach, they're like, "Oh, it's the fifth coach in franchise history."
I'm thinking of Joe Philbin.
I mean, Miami Dolphins failure.
Failure. Rude.
But either way, it's beside the point. So, but if that's why I said with Anthony, I said that. What I text you, Anthony's going to COVID and hold out his way to the fantasy playoffs.
Yeah, right. Latavius Murray.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Who else is on his team that would help for that? I don't even know.
I mean, I don't know. It's just one of those somehow guys
Zach
around.
Moss.
Oh, Phillip Rivers goes down, then it's Jacob Eason.
Curtis Samuel's on his team. I don't know. He's got a couple good wide receivers. Juju, Marquise Brown, Mike Williams. I like those wide receivers.
Mike Williams.
He still has Deshaun Watson. His team is not that bad. I just think that everyone else's team is so much better.
Right.
Steve's got
like Kyle's team. We all thought Kyle's team was that bad, but Kyle has so many players I like on his roster. Like
he just got screwed the most running back wise.
What's that?
He just got screwed the most running back wise.
Yeah, but I mean, again, if Kamara didn't play, then he has Ty Montgomery, so there's something there. Marlon Mack is still technically the starter. Kareem Hunt could turn into something. Jordan Howard is still technically the starter. Corey Clement might play week 1. if Miles Sanders for some reason can't go.
Ew.
Boston
Benny
Scott
Snell.
too.
Boston Scott.
Yeah, I love Boston Scott. I don't know how much his role would change though if Miles Sanders missed time.
It's one of those weird, like he is what he is, but he'll never get that shot at
It's like
every
the
down
new,
back.
like the new Darren Sproles, in my opinion.
It's a good play. Honestly, maybe it's a better place to be if you're a running back like that. Just quietly be good, but you'll have more years in your career.
Another guy who I could just throw into my lineup if I had to on a case of emergency.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, and then Kyle has like I don't know, he was Jarvis Landry, CeeDee Lamb, AJ Green. If AJ Green stays healthy, that's awesome.
Yeah, I mean he's going like
Laviska
decently
Shenault,
high in redraft.
James Washington, Sterling Shepard, Devontae Parker. There's a lot of guys on here.
Yeah, it's
Even
running
Antonio
backs.
Brown. Apparently, I read today that Antonio Brown's suspension applies whether he's on a team or not.
Yeah,
so,
yeah, the 8 games. So
yeah,
technically,
so once the 8 games are over, he could be signed, or even before that, you know. So I don't know if he will, but you never know.
who knows? But I mean, yeah, I don't know. The Kamara basically, to sum it up, the Kamara stuff is non-news to me. I just think it's your usual. Oh, what's happening? It's because like the Saints were like, we're open to trading, and that means if you'll answer the phone, and if someone has something ridiculous, you'd consider it. But
Yeah.
that
Well, they
you
were
can
asking
say
for
that
a
about
first
every
round pick
player.
back. So would you give up a first round pick for Alvin Kamara to be your running back? I mean, obviously you're
No.
a Giants fan, so you already have Barkley, but
I mean, I mean, for my team, no, but there's probably a team that would.
Maybe.
I mean, is there a team that's lacking? That's like a running back away.
yes,
No.
Jackson. Okay.
Yeah. No team is ever a running back away.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think, and we're clearly realizing that. Like, I think the Le'Veon Bell, like,
Unless
Like,
that running
holdout
back is
thing.
Priest
Yeah.
Holmes.
Well, I mean, it's like San Francisco. If only San Francisco had Alvin Kamara, they could have won the Super Bowl.
Oh, if
right.
only.
So it's like, yeah, there's no team that might be willing to do that. But
Thank God they didn't.
but then
I think it was one of those
why are
things
there
where
teams-
it's just a negotiation tactic, right? So, but I think it was one of those things where not only that, but they could show and be like, "Hey, look, no team even values you that much. So obviously you're asking for too much money."
right.
Yeah, but it's like, he's not stupid. He'll be like, listen, you're very clearly saying you're asking for a first, and nobody's going to pay that.
Right.
Is that it?
Yeah, sorry.
This is sorry to
Do I have to
everyone that's
start
actually
saying-
sticking with us to listen to this episode, but this is a pretty brutal one here.
Do I have
Yeah.
to start saying stop after, like, everything I say, like a telegram?
Yes, I think you have to.
Okay. Stop.
And then the only other running back news: Joe Mixon got his contract,
Oh, yeah.
which makes me happy that I don't have to
Yes.
worry about anything there.
Very
So,
good.
Yep.
There was that inkling of, is there going to be a holdout? And then that quickly ended.
yeah,
What was it, 4 years? So that means he's there for the next 5, including
yeah,
this
he's
year.
he's under contract until after the 2024 season.
Makes sense.
But I mean, I like every NFL contract,
Yeah. Somehow Gio Bernard will still be there.
right? Gio Bernard, have you seen his mustache?
I haven't.
Oh, you have to look it up. Gio Bernard mustache.
Let's go. Geo.
Man, these Google images aren't that great for this. It's probably easier to find it on Twitter, to be honest.
Yeah,
That's where I've
probably.
been seeing it all over the place. So, let's see if I can find this here. It's great podcast content.
Oh my god. Let's see if I can put this on the screen.
Oh, yikes. That's a rough one. Yep.
That's a bad one. Oh no.
It reminds
Oh,
me
God.
of this is insanely random. It reminds me of like Lamont Sanford from Sanford and Son, of like that just
Yeah.
that 70s like thick mustache.
Yes.
I was gonna say like Danny Glover from Lethal Weapon.
Oh yeah, that too.
Lethal Weapon. What was the number?
Stop!
Always?
I forgot to say stop.
Luch, maybe you should plug into your router next time.
I am plugged in.
Did you just say I am hardwired in?
I am plugged in. Stop.
All right, let's move on to the main part of this episode. Let's bring some energy back into this and not make it as brutal of an episode.
I can't believe this is the worst podcast, and I have all my new equipment set up too.
I know, and this is the new. Even the title, the Not Stupid Podcast. This is the stupidest podcast I've ever recorded in my life.
I can't believe Nick was right.
Nick was right, yeah. 14 episodes in, we finally. What are we gonna have? Like 2 views on this one?
Oh yeah, terrible. You'd think we'd get more now. The season's starting.
We need to bring Tom Pop back if we need to get get views.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
But all right, week 1 previews. I have all the matchups here. We have me versus Kyle, Dennis versus Phil. Big matchup here. Anthony versus Joey.
Oh man.
We got Mike. You're against Tom.
Oh boy.
Lucho, you're playing Skylar, and then another big rivalry matchup: Nick versus Alex Hochberg.
Oh
boy.
So we can start with one of these rivalries. Let's start with the Anthony and Joey matchup.
2 teams projected to miss the playoffs, but still an exciting matchup nonetheless.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to look and see who some of these players what.
By the way, everyone, please don't forget to set your week 1 lineups. Just in case.
If your name is Kyle, don't worry about setting your week 1 lineup. I'll take the free win.
Oh, that's right. Yes. Hi, Tom. Please don't do it.
What sucks is I was hoping to go into live scoring, but live scoring not available till the season starts. I guess that makes sense that there's no live scoring, but I don't know how this website. Where even are the matchup?
Who the fuck knows?
Oh, so much for this podcast being not stupid.
Whatever. I'll get to this website. Am I still actually logged in? Oh, look at that. Wow, this really it really is like the best thing for Dynasty, but my God, the interface just fix something. There we go. Schedule. Holy shit. Yeah, you really can't just click on preview, can you?
I guess not. Stop.
Oh no. There's really nothing. We have nothing to look at for the week 1 previews.
What?
Well,
we actually don't.
Well, I don't think because the season hasn't started. I guess there's probably nothing.
I mean, you can just look at a roster and say, they should play this guy.
Yes, but I mean, who are they even? I don't even know what the matchup is.
Yeah, I don't know. Right, yeah, Jesus.
This podcast episode is on track to being scrapped on how terrible it is.
We're rusty.
Lucho, we'll let you take over with your bad internet.
All right. So I can look into my matchup with Skiller. And let's open my team because I don't remember the fuck is on my team. All right. So he has in quarterback Tom Brady, Jacoby Brissett, Jake Fromm, racist, Matt Moore, Alex Smith, and Tua Tagovailoa. Yeah, that's gonna, I guess, have to be Tom Brady and maybe Tua. So he's not flexing a quarterback. Meanwhile, I am going to.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's not starting Tua. I don't even think Tua is starting week 1, right?
There's no way. All right, Joe Burrow, but I would say does any rookie quarterback start week 1, but Joe Burrow.
Yeah. So that means that he has Tom Brady playing in New Orleans.
Away?
Yes.
Oof. Has Tom Brady ever completed a pass on Marshawn Lattimore before? Probably. Meanwhile, I am starting Cam Newton and Carson Wentz.
For sure, starting those guys?
It's my lineup is already set.
No Phillip Rivers? Phillip Rivers playing... Oh, man. Where is... playing in Jacksonville? because Cam is playing at
Cam's
home versus
playing
Miami, and then Wentz is playing in Washington. All right, those are all
Yeah.
pretty good matchups.
So
It's hard to. I mean,
I'll take that
it's
W. I'll
hard to
leave that
bench
W.
Cam or Wentz, but that Phillip Rivers matchup is tempting.
I mean,
Just my opinion.
if it ends up being the right call that I should have started Rivers, I'll flog myself on the podcast for not having faith. Running backs. Saquon Barkley, Frank Gore, Raheem Mostert, Adrian Peterson, Jalen Samuels, Ito Smith, and James White.
So,
Barkley and Mostert?
Saquon and Mostert, yeah, right?
Yeah.
James White. I don't trust James White yet. I need to see a couple of games with Cam before I trust James White.
Saquon at home versus Pittsburgh. That kind of sucks.
Yeah, but it's Saquon, obviously.
And then Mostert versus at home versus Arizona.
That one's pretty good.
Yeah.
But
James White, Miami.
What if Isaiah Simmons has like a breakout game and then he bottles up Mostert, or something happens? Then you never know. James White.
More there's a better chance that Jerick McKinnon is the main guy.
Yeah.
That too.
Or Tevin Coleman.
What about Adrian Peterson? He could start Adrian Peterson.
Against Philly?
I mean, I'm just throwing it out there.
If Adrian Peterson had ever shown the ability to catch a pass, maybe.
He could just start the New York Jets starting running back Frank Gore.
Speaking of, I just want to take a slight sidetrack with Adrian Peterson. Can we talk about the roller coaster of Bryce Love on the Dynasty subreddit in the last 10 days?
Bryce Love is the second coming, and now Bryce Love might get cut.
Yep.
That's off season, baby.
Just a nice little side note of, yes, in fact, he could start Adrian Peterson because Bryce Love is probably not there, like everyone thought.
Whatever.
Versus... sorry, go ahead.
Nope, go ahead.
I was going to say versus Damian Harris, Derrick Henry, David Montgomery, Miles Sanders, and Devin Singletary. It is very possible that Miles Sanders and David Montgomery miss week 1, in which case I will be probably starting Derrick Henry, and then it's tough.
Derrick Henry at Denver.
Yeah. Versus...
Singletary's playing in Buffalo against the Jets.
That's interesting. That's a tough decision between Harris and Singletary if I have to start one of them.
Oh, yeah,
I'd probably go with Singletary.
I feel like I couldn't play Harris without seeing it first. Just kind of like the James.
That's how I feel.
You know, I'd feel more comfortable starting
for the first time in 15 years. You don't know what this Pats offense is going to be.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
20 years. Jesus.
Hopefully, you just have Miles Sanders, Luch.
Yeah. Whatever that.
Well, what are his
lower body?
I know it was a hamstring. So did they say
I think they said it was a hamstring. Yeah.
Week to week.
I mean, he's still week to week, yeah, but hamstrings are weird sometimes.
Because they linger.
I remember I had was it Danny Woodhead a couple years ago?
Oof.
He had a hamstring injury in the preseason, and then you thought he was going to be back for week 1, and then he got put on the IR.
Yikes.
And then he tried to come back after the 8 weeks of being on IR, and then just hurt his hamstring again and was out for the rest of the season.
Was that his last season?
I think that was his final season, yeah.
Yeah. Because I think I remember that.
Yep, had him in the keeper league.
But I think that W goes to Skyler.
You do?
Yeah. The upside for his running backs is higher than mine, I think, in week 1.
I don't know. Anytime you can throw Derrick Henry in there, I mean, he's a top 5 back for a reason.
Yeah, but at Denver sucks. I don't think
at Denver is very rough. That's like a bottom 5 matchup.
Yeah.
And, Miles Sanders running on one leg, probably still faster than David Montgomery, but we'll see.
David Montgomery lost weight and stopped eating donuts.
I should have fucking traded him as soon as he said that. Get that fucking negativity off of my team.
See, that's why I traded him. I had called him up and I was like, hey, what are your plans for this offseason? He said, I'm going to go on a diet and stop eating donuts. And I go, whoa.
I'm trying to close down Glazed Over, bro. Wide receivers. Let's just glance over that because I won that one.
He's got Deshaun Jackson, which is a good upside week 1, playing against, what did we
Hedge.
say? Washington?
Yeah, upside hedge against Wentz, too. Decaf Metcalf. Larry Fitzgerald, Cole Beasley.
Playing Atlanta.
Skyler could still have Julio Jones and Derrick Henry on his roster.
We'll
And
see
Kyler
what
Murray.
happens. Yeah.
Something.
Could still have Kyler Murray.
Yeah.
But he has the truth, Darius Slayton, the one-season wonder. Decaf Metcalf, Darius Slayton, Brashad Perriman, who until like 2 weeks ago when his knee suddenly swelled up for no reason, he looked great. He looked like a pretty solid stash. Cordell Patterson, who is a running back, and Emmanuel Sanders. And Chris Hogan, who actually might be the new Brashad Perriman for the Jets.
Isn't Chris Hogan hurt now too?
Is he?
Ready?
Yes, he's bothered by tightness.
Oof.
That's an awful phrase.
Isn't that what
I mean,
Chris
it was
Hogan had?
like I said, like literally every hamstring, every injury is a hamstring because, like I said, all these guys went from just sitting around to full speed practice. Like, we can't be shocked.
Yeah. That's the thing,
But
is the first 4 weeks are going to be preseason games, essentially.
it's gonna be an ugly first couple weeks,
Mhm.
but
Yeah,
whatever.
with that
Fantasy
play,
matchups.
no one's gonna care about wins.
Versus John Brown, Brandon Cooks. Well, I'll just say who I'm starting. Starting Brandon Cooks, Mike Evans, DJ Moore, and Bob Woods.
Makes sense. Yeah, clear edge. Move on to the tight ends.
Yeah. Tight ends. Skylar has Will Dissly. What do you know? What?
Is Skyler the team that had like 5,000 tight ends on his roster?
He has quite a few. He has Will Dissly, Eric Ebron, Zach Ertz, Dalton Keene, Thaddeus Moss, Kyle Rudolph, and Max Williams.
With 75 X's.
I don't hate, like, if he has to stack tight ends at any point, I don't hate having Ertz and Ebron.
No, I think Ebron's going to have Ebron. No, I get it confused. Ebron's in Pittsburgh now.
Yep.
Yes.
Jack Doyle's in Indy. I think Jack
Yep.
Doyle's going to have a great year, but I was thinking Ebron for a sec. He would have been great with Phillip Rivers, but now he's in Pittsburgh with
True.
potentially.
We have
Mason Rudolph
hyped
not
up
throwing.
like every tight end that's gone there since Heath Miller. We've hyped up, and none of them has really smashed.
No.
But this is
Well, I
the
remember
year.
being pissed at Tom getting Vance McDonald for Luke Falk, but Vance McDonald ended up sucking, so it didn't matter.
Yeah.
Vance McDonald, all he's done is that career-ending stiff arm.
Oh God, yeah. I forgot about
Who was that? Who was the guy that he stiff armed?
I think he was. Oh God, I don't even remember. Hang on. Vance McDonald, stiff arm.
Chris Conti.
Right. Oh God, Chris Conti. Former Buccaneer Chris Conti. I have Mo Alley Cox, Mark Andrews,
You
Dallas
really?
Goedert. Yeah, I have Mo Alley Cox.
Oh, I didn't know that. I thought he was still on the waiver or on the free agency.
I picked him up a couple weeks ago.
What a good pickup.
Thank you. Mark Andrews, Dallas Goedert, Austin Hooper, and Adam Troutman. And I'm starting Andrews.
I mean, obviously Mark Andrews. Obviously.
Depending on how I feel about Brandon Cooks, I might stack Goddard with Wentz as like a back.
Is Goddard going to play week 1?
He should. He's not hurt. He's not on the injury report.
Listen, not to say that you can like mess around. You really don't want to, just because points scored matters. But you have the flexibility against a weaker team like Skyler that if you wanted to experiment and fuck around and throw guys in your lineup.
Great. Well, there that goes.
Uh-oh. Oh, Luch, you're still here.
Oh, wait, that was Mike?
Mike, we lost you for a little bit there.
Oh, thank God. I thought
my
it was my
God.
internet.
So stupid. No,
This
it's
is
mine.
the worst. The title of this episode has to be just "Don't listen to this."
Don't watch this.
Not worth your
This
time.
is the Ring video of fantasy podcasts.
I'm just gonna go with, if we had to make a prediction here, Luch, I think you're gonna beat Skylar based on what we've just talked about.
I would
Yes.
hope so, but you never know.
It's fantasy. It's stupid shit.
Barkley could smash in week 1, and then like the rest of my team just doesn't do shit.
Skylar is the luckiest fantasy football player of all time.
I'll say, yeah.
Until he
I agree.
gets to the finals. Then
Wow.
all his luck disappears in the playoffs.
This is true. But I think Lucho gets the win, as predicted.
Why is that a default reaction? That's so shitty. Let's see. We could go through. I mean, do you want to go through your
Sure, I'll go through my roster.
smackdown of Kyle?
Yeah, I'll go through my roster. At QB, we've got Patrick Mahomes, and I'm planning on starting Ben Roethlisberger. Wow, I gotta learn how to talk.
What are you, me?
Yes. Patrick Mahomes is playing, good question, on Thursday night at home versus the Texans. And then Roethlisberger I have going up against the Giants in New York. And my other option was Drew Lock at home versus the Titans, which honestly isn't terrible, but I'd rather play Roethlisberger at this
Especially
point.
with the Titans,
or I'm most likely playing Roethlisberger at this point. I mean, I guess it's not a sure thing.
Again, with you playing Kyle, you can tinker and not necessarily, I think, be crazy concerned about whether or not you're going to get the win.
I also can play Tyrod Taylor since he's been confirmed as the Week 1 starter now. Who are the Chargers playing? That's a good question. They're playing at Cincinnati, so again, it's not bad either.
That's good.
So I have some I have some thinking to do. Maybe I won't just assume I'm starting Roethlisberger. Kyle's team is playing, or he has Joe Burrow, Jared Goff. I'm assuming Nick Foles is not the starter.
What a fucking... Oh my god, the Bears.
Yeah, so I'm assuming he's playing Joe Burrow, who now doesn't have to go against Derwin James.
Yeah. Oh.
And playing Jared Goff, and they are against the Cowboys in Los Angeles. So,
I think Goff is in for I don't think he's not a QB1, but I think he's going to be a sneaky good, high-end, super flex guy this year. Way better, way more productive fantasy-wise than last year, I think.
Yeah,
he can sneak in the bottom.
I think I should say he gets back to that 2018 form.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, I think he finished as QB12 last year. So, and that was not even that great a year. So
Really? I mean, he didn't throw a lot of picks, but only 20 touchdowns.
Give me a second. I'll check this here.
Not that I want to spend an hour on Jared Goff, but I guess I thought he was way lower. Maybe just staring at ESPN rankings, I have him at almost QB 20 or in 19 or something.
He finished it up. Nope, I lied.
13.
Well, no. Yeah, QB 15.
Is this including Jeff Driscoll?
No, I'm not going by points per game. That was final finish. By points per game, he was down to 23. It's just he stayed healthy.
Right.
For all those injuries.
Oh boy, yeah, 15 points. I mean, 16 points a game.
It's not
It's still good for Superflex. I mean, we discussed it enough.
Yeah. Him and Ryan Fitzpatrick right around the same amount.
When you can outscore rookie phenom Baker Mayfield in points per game, you take that.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, moving on. At running back on my team, I'm assuming I'm starting Joe Mixon and David Johnson, although I do have the option of starting a guy like Mark Ingram. And then, like I said, I've talked about a couple of these ancillary guys. But David Johnson, Joe Mixon. Joe Mixon's playing the Chargers at home, and David Johnson is playing the Chiefs, which I love that matchup.
Yeah, it's a pretty good matchup.
Yeah, so we'll get to see right away.
I'm big on David Johnson this year because that was my keeper league strategy of That was the first running back I took in round 3, so I'm big on Day. I think huge bounce back. I think he's definitely finished his running back 1 this year.
I wasn't that in on David Johnson until I took him in the keeper league, and now he has to finish it.
Then I talked him up to myself. I
don't know. It's the Bill O'Brien's gonna go. Well, fuck! I gave away a lot. I gotta run him into the ground.
But does Bill O'Brien really think he gave away a lot?
He probably doesn't. That's
does
true.
Bill O'Brien really think?
O'Brien thinks Hopkins was worth like nothing.
What a bum! Glad he's gone.
I can't wait for him to trade like Deshaun Watson for like a 3rd round pick in 3 years or something.
I can't believe they gave me David Johnson for this bum and a 2nd round pick.
When Stephon Diggs went for more, that's saying a lot.
Yeah. Who is Baltimore playing?
I don't know. What'd you say?
Who's Baltimore playing?
Baltimore is playing Cleveland in Baltimore.
Interesting. I think that's tough. That's a tough decision.
Between DJ and Ingram?
Yeah.
I think it's almost pretty easy for me, to be honest. Maybe it's a little tougher than I'm thinking, but I was kind of thinking against Kansas City, they're just going to have to score a lot of points. So, as a receiving back, or what we saw last year, is that what he was still actually like above average at, as being a receiving back. So
that's true, yeah.
And then for Kyle's team, this is a good question, man. Running backs, who's he's going to start at running back? I guess
you have to throw Marlon Mack.
Mack and Jordan Howard, or maybe Kareem Hunt.
Kareem Hunt might be a better play.
Maybe.
It depends on how fast you think that Cleveland-Baltimore game is going to be.
Yeah, that's true. I get worried about those division games.
Yeah, I think that's right. I think you got to go with Mack and Howard and just. But then even I don't know, because neither of them are going to catch a lot of passes. You think with Nyheim Hines and Matt Breida? It's rough.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I think I would go Howard though, even though they're playing New England too, so it's like.
Oh yeah, true.
It's not even that great. Maybe I would go Kareem Hunt, just for like the chance that.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think you would go Mack and Hunt in that case. Then that matchup shifts it.
Yeah. So, okay, moving on to wide receivers on my team. Going to be starting my classic easy wide receiver picks every week, but Michael Thomas, DeAndre Hopkins, Keenan Allen.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm planning on flexing. What did I decide that I was going to do? Hold on a second. I thought I had my lineup filled out, so maybe I can look at this quick. I was planning on I'm planning on flexing Ingram, so it's Ingram's in anyway. So
there you
go.
Yeah,
Michael Thomas, DeAndre Hopkins, Keenan Allen. Pretty simple. Not much to talk about there. I mean, we could see who they're playing, but Michael Thomas playing Tampa Bay in New Orleans, which is great.
Mm-hmm.
Hopkins playing at San Francisco, which I think is pretty good too. And then Keenan Allen at Cincinnati, which again, pretty good, especially if Mike Williams doesn't play.
Yeah. You're not going to stack Johnson and Roethlisberger?
Nah, I got to see more of Deontay Johnson with Roethlisberger before I can trust him. I'd play Edelman over Deontay Johnson still. So.
I think everybody's way too down on Edelman this year. I think he could still be pretty solid.
Yeah, I think so too. Especially they just cut Mohamed Sanu today, so.
Yeah. Oh, we forgot to mention the second best quarterback on the New England was cut today. Lots of faith in Jarrett Stidham as the backup.
Yes, and the Falcons were able to get a second-round pick for Mohamed Sanu at the deadline last year.
That Mo Sanu trade turned into Hayden Hurst and eventually J.K. Dobbins for the Ravens.
Yep.
What a joke.
Yeah, you're right.
Kyle's team. Sorry, I'm so slow on getting through this stuff because I'm going through so many tabs here, and then
Okay.
I see the tab of my team, and then I forget that I'm using the same tab to go down to his team every time. Kyle's team at receiver. Wow, he has a lot of marks here of questionable, holdout, suspended on here. I guess his starters will probably be AJ Green, Jarvis Landry, Devontae Parker if he plays, and then he's got some other. You could possibly play. I mean, you could throw CeeDee Lamb out right away, but I don't know about that. But you could possibly play Laviska Shenault. Could possibly play Sterling Shepard. Possibly James Washington, maybe.
I think you go Shepard.
Shepard over Parker or Shepard over. I mean, actually, you know, he's going to be starting 4 wide receivers. So.
Yeah.
So what? Green, Landry.
Landry, Parker,
Shepard.
and Shepard. Yeah.
Yeah. Shepard versus Pittsburgh. Parker versus New England. Landry versus Baltimore, and Green versus Chargers.
Though, if Pittsburgh is playing New York, it depends. Does he want to shoot for the fences and swing for the fences and go for James Washington against that sorry-ass secondary?
That secondary is supposed to be better. They just signed Logan Ryan.
Oh, they did sign Logan Ryan, right. Okay, so
Yep.
They'll still be sorry-ass, but they'll be a little better in the short range.
DeAndre Baker isn't on the team. Or is he? I don't even know. But he's not playing if he's still on the team.
No, he's busy planning his next GTA heist.
He's got how many felonies?
And I also don't... It's tough to say with CeeDee Lamb. I don't hate taking that shot, but you don't really know how those targets are going to shake out.
Yeah.
Because, like,
not yet
Yeah.
at least. And then I hear, like, you read some stuff and, like, some people think that Michael Gallup is going to be a top 20 wide receiver. I just don't see enough volume.
That's the thing is, like, you have everybody pumping up these players, and it's like, where is all this volume going to come from? Especially when you also have a team that historically wants to feed their running back as well.
The Jason Witten targets.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And the Randall Cobb targets. I think we talked about this before. There were actually a lot of vacated targets on
That's
Dallas,
the thing, but a lot of people are saying there's been a lot of buzz about Jarwin that's going to step in.
Yeah,
Kellen
I don't know.
Moore and
I don't
Mike
know how I
McCarthy
feel
are going to
about Blake
pass more
Jarwin.
to what's his name? The fucking running back Zeke more.
Tony Pollard
more. The true RB1.
Please no.
You have both of them. You're fine.
I know, but it's just still.
What did you get Tony Pollard for? Blind bid money?
Yeah, like $5.
That was one of the greatest deals of all time.
The president says so.
I refuse to give up a fourth. I said, here's bid dollars instead.
I would have gave up a third for Tony Pollard.
I might have. That's, yeah.
I think I'm at the point. I was dangling those guys too in trades, but at this point, I'm holding at this point.
Yeah.
Like, either way.
Let's see. Moving on to tight ends. We'll start with Kyle since I'm already here. He's got Jimmy Graham, Blake Jarwin, speaking of, Foster Moreau, and Jonnu Smith.
I like Jonnu Smith a lot, and I like Blake Jarwin a lot. I think a lot of people around the Cowboys love Blake Jarwin
Jonnu
this
Smith,
year.
week 1, playing at Denver, and Blake Jarwin at the Rams. I
mean, Blake Jarwin's a better matchup for sure.
Way better matchup.
Yeah.
No Mark Barron there anymore either. So that makes it even better for him.
Yeah. I still don't think it's like either of those are great plays for week 1, but
You got to play somebody on that roster, and I guess.
do you? You can just play
Start.
Jimmy Graham.
Cole Kmet's backup.
I've been burned by Jimmy Graham. I feel like so many times in redraft because after his Saints years, I've been like, yeah, this is it, and then.
I know. I think I had him a couple years in that keeper league when he was on the Saints.
That's like an excerpt from
Very
Aaron
beginning.
Rodgers' journal. I've been burned by Jimmy Graham so many times.
But like, I feel like besides Allen Robinson, do you trust anybody catching the ball on the Bears?
Maybe
With
Anthony
who's that?
Miller,
Tariq Cohen.
Tariq
With
Cohen.
who's at quarterback? I mean, especially if it's Trubisky again.
I think Trubisky has to be the starter there anyway because it's easier to go from Trubisky to Foles than it would be to start Foles and then go back to Trubisky.
That's true. Leave the Chicago fans with something to bitch at. Oh, you got to put Foles in, and if Foles sucks.
I mean, yeah, but then you're done with both of them. I think it would just be like people would be so upset if they had to go back to Trubisky after he doesn't start week 1.
Mm-hmm.
You know, just get it out of the way now.
Give him some hope.
Yeah. So, my tight end here. This is a good question for you because I have Tyler Higbee and Evan Ingram, who I can play. Tyler Higbee is playing Dallas, which is a good tight end matchup historically, and Evan Ingram's playing Pittsburgh, which I don't think they're a bad matchup, but they're definitely not a good matchup.
I think they grew into being a bad matchup as what's his name? Who's the cornerback they traded for? Mackenzie Alexander? No, he's in the Vikings.
Who are you talking about?
The cornerback they traded for.
Or Minkah Fitzpatrick.
Minkah Fitzpatrick.
Safety.
Well, he's safety now, but they played him at nickel, didn't they?
I have no idea. I wasn't watching many of those Steelers games. We should ask Mike since he was the one starting Mason Rudolph.
Oh my God! You want to talk about torture yourself? Watching that guy suck his way. I need 10 points. Can you just fucking get there?
I think you go Higbee.
Yeah, I mean
that's what I'm playing right now.
It's so frustrating when you like look at matchups like that because you want to immediately say, well, ability wise, Evan Ingram, but
do you?
I don't know, man. I mean, like I think the Giants' offense is going to be decent enough, like that their defense is going to be the big downfall yet again. But they have enough weapons, and Ingram's going to factor in a lot. I think he gets a lot of targets. He's only, I mean, I guess Saquon, but it's Shepard and Slayton, and then Ingram.
Golden Tate.
Think about how the targets were distributed by the Clapper in Dallas over all these years. He's going to send a lot of targets to Ingram's way, probably, or he's going to scheme it that way.
It's tough, but again, you have the flexibility. Just flip a coin.
Yeah.
Oh my God!
Either way,
he's here.
Either
Jason
way,
Garrett's
you're getting the win.
It'll probably be. Yeah, I would say so too. Okay, so we'll put that for me. All right, we're only through 2 of the 6 matchups. We might want to.
I figured we were just gonna do
this the fuck up.
Mike, we'll let you
gonna do ours.
Yeah, sure.
Let you go. You versus Tom.
I mean, I'm not. Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna. I don't want to go through every single fucking player, but I'll start with my quarterbacks. I mean, my quarterback 1 is probably Josh Allen against the Jets. My super flex is Drew Brees against the Bucks, but again, interchangeable. But those are the 2 quarterbacks I'm going to start because they're the only 2 that will be starters. The rest of my roster: Kyle Allen, Justin Herbert, Marcus Mariota, Josh Allen, Mason Rudolph. You've heard me bitch enough about Rudolph.
Unless you get Derek Carr. Second.
I could if I wanted to. It's not out of the realm of possibility, but I'm also not gonna give up a bunch of bullshit just to do it.
What if Derek Carr becomes good?
Yeah, I know. Trust me, I thought.
He's had 9 years.
He's also 29. I kind of didn't realize. I know quarterback, that's still young, but
yeah, he's older than me and Luch.
Thank God.
By about a month.
So I mean, for Tom, it's obvious too. Lamar Jackson against Cleveland and Matt Ryan against Seattle, just because his other quarterbacks, Mitch Trubisky, may be playing, but you're still not starting him against anybody. It doesn't matter. He could start against Western Michigan. I wouldn't feel comfortable. And then he has Anthony Gordon, who obviously, unless Russell Wilson goes down. I mean, the edge and quarterbacks, Tom, clearly.
Yeah.
Lamar Jackson. In both, I think Matt Ryan's the better super flex. Maybe Ryan and Breeze are similar at super flex, but Lamar Jackson blows away.
I think it's a wash.
Anybody.
I think it's a wash for the super flex QBs because Seattle is a rougher matchup.
Right.
Yeah, fortunately it's in Atlanta though.
Yeah.
But
yeah. how much does it matter? No, I don't know what every team is doing as far as fans.
It doesn't make that much of a difference in Atlanta. I mean, we're the pioneers of fake crowd noise.
I was gonna say they're used to pumping in noise, man.
We should get our draft picks back that we had to forfeit.
me move to running backs. I mean, running back 1, Zeke Elliott against the Rams at the Rams. I mean, my running back 2 is kind of a toss-up. I mean, either Josh Jacobs at Carolina or Aaron Jones at Minnesota. It sucks that my only gripe with Aaron Jones is Matt LaFleur sucks, and and obviously Aaron Jones is due for a regression. Like, you're not scoring 19 touchdowns again.
Yeah, not with AJ Dillon there. That's really the big.
And like that, and I mean,
just in general, I was, but
that's why I drafted Dillon. Clearly, I mean, I've said that already. But it's just, I really wish Matt LaFleur didn't suck, because this just seems like a no-brainer to me with these guys that Jones should be the workhorse and the 3-down back, but he won't be. Like, you're still going to get stupid Jamal Williams mixed in.
That's dumb the way he does it, too, because Jones is a 3-down back, and he uses them as a 3-down back, but he uses them on one drive, and then the next drive, Jamal Williams would be in for the entire time. So it was like, it's not like they were switching.
Like you talked about me having to watch Steelers games for stupid Mason Rudolph. I can't tell you how infuriating it is to watch Aaron Jones break off like some 50-yard run,
and then
but then Jamal Williams is in the very next drive because it's his turn.
Well, no, Aaron Jones breaks off a 50-yard run, gets stopped in like the 25, and then Jamal Williams finishes off the drive.
Vulture's a touchdown. It's going to be that this year, but with Dillon.
Yeah.
But, I think that's going to be a awful 3-headed monster in the pack.
But also it's one of those where you would think a guy like Aaron Jones, who in redraft is going early second ADP. Like, even though I have him in Dynasty, and I wouldn't take him. I wouldn't take him that high in redraft at all.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm in a position where the upside is just so great based on last year, and at Minnesota is never great for Green Bay. So maybe I have more flexibility with the Henry for Julio Jones trade opened up a little bit, but either way, I think Elliott and Jacobs are my 2 running backs. But I have 10 days to figure it out. And then for Tom, let's see.
Tom's got Dalvin Cook.
Dalvin Cook against Green Bay,
which is great.
And then, I mean, his running back 2 is probably Le'Veon Bell. I mean, how much does Leonard Fournette do week 1?
Probably a lot. Just a running back, like how much?
I get it. I don't know, but I mean, is Bruce Arians one of those? Well, he's got to learn the playbook. He's not going to just slot right in. Like, what kind of shit are we talking about here? Like, how much usage does? I mean, I know he's been at training camp and stuff. He's not hurt or anything, but I feel like whenever you go to a new team, like, I know he's talented, but does he get slot right in as like the starter? Does he get 15, 20 touches week 1?
That is a little tough to try to do. Would you start Bell over him if it was your team?
I don't know.
Bell,
because it's a bad matchup.
Buffalo, yeah,
it's a bad matchup, and there's Adam Gase is always a factor. I don't know that's kind of tough for him. But again, he has the wide receiver depth to just make up for it. He can get away with just starting 2 backs. At least he doesn't have to start 3.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's based on matchups, I'd start Fournette. But again, you have a week and a half to figure it out, so you can kind of figure it out the day of.
Yeah, I feel like by the time the season's about to start, it's going to end up being Fournette. But
I'm going to give myself the advantage in running backs. But
yeah, running back 2 gives you the advantage. I would say it's a wash between Zeke and Cook, but running back 2, it's just the same thing as where he had QB1 as the advantage. So you guys are pretty even. This is a premier matchup right now.
Marquee.
So wide receivers, I mean, I guess I have to start Julio Jones now that I have the, quote unquote, like top 5 guy I've been missing from this roster. Julio Jones against Seattle, and honestly, it's sort of tough. Like, I guess before the trade, I probably would have started Calvin Ridley, but I can't confidently start both of them.
Yeah, you do. I didn't even realize that. You are double dipping in Atlanta wideouts.
Yeah, but they're both good. Like, Calvin Ridley was fine for me, like, as a starting fantasy wide receiver last year until he got hurt. But I mean, it's so tough. Like, I as much as I'd love to start AJ Brown, I can't do it at Denver.
Yeah,
And
it's
then-
tough.
And then, I mean, right now I have Stephon Diggs.
I would
against
probably
the
Diggs
Jets.
then, right?
And I have DJ Chark against Indy, but that's
Oh, yeah,
not
DJ
exactly.
Chark.
Why not?
I mean,
Thielen?
I could do Adam Thielen. I mean, I have Adam Thielen sitting there.
I think Adam Thielen's definitely in for you. I would say Jones, probably Jones, Thielen, and Chark.
That's what I'm thinking. But again, I have a week to figure it out. I have Jones, Diggs, and Chark so far, but again, that could certainly change.
And then
Diggs
Tom.
might be tough, yeah. And
I know
then
Tom has good.
yeah, and then Tom. I mean, Devontae Adams, Chris Godwin, and Tyler Boyd. I mean, those are so good.
Who else is on his team?
He has Marvin Jones, Randall
Mohamed
Cobb.
Sanu.
He has Marvin Jones. He doesn't have incredible depth, but
Well,
like his
he used to have Allen Robinson. That was really
Yeah,
what.
Right.
he has T Higgins, but again, you're not starting him week one. Randall Cobb, and then Mohamed Sanu just got cut, right?
Yeah.
And Quintez Cephas and Brian Edwards, who may be sneaky on the
It could-
Raiders.
you
but I
know,
don't know.
Brian Edwards. Yeah. That's
Either
a
way,
tough
I'm
thing to throw
starting.
out week 1 too. But yeah, probably Tyler Boyd. You're right.
Yeah. So yeah, I think Adams.
I give him
Godwin
the edge
will wait
in,
for him.
in wide
Yeah.
receiver.
Yeah, Adams and Godwin are probably going to be top 10 guys, so that makes sense. Tight ends. I mean, I'm starting George Kittle. I mean, there's no, especially against Arizona. He destroyed Arizona last
Oh
year.
wait a minute, Tom has to start a flex though. So he's like, it's probably gonna be Lev Bell.
That's true. Is it? Yeah, that's right.
Over
thought
Marvin
he had-
Jones?
I think that's what I would do.
Oh, yeah, I mean...
Marvin
yeah,
Jones
actually,
against Chicago. Sorry.
Lev Bell with nobody else catching passes.
Yeah, I think I go Lev Bell. All right. Well,
So I mean, the flex is. I mean, I guess if my flex is Aaron Jones and his is Le'Veon Bell. That's kind of where that's at. And then yeah, tight end. Like I'm starting. No secret, George Kittle. My other guy. My bench is good. I mean, Darren Waller is a great bench guy. Maybe rest in peace, Jay Sternberger, because the Packers might start.
didn't it get announced that Robert Tanyan?
Yeah, I think Robert
Is the
Tonyan might be the week one starter.
I don't think it matters anymore.
No,
Like,
no. It
tight
doesn't.
end in Green Bay hasn't mattered for so long, despite everyone saying it should matter.
No, it doesn't. They had Jimmy Graham after when he was supposedly good, and it didn't matter.
They had Jared Cook too.
Oh, that's right. But obviously, I'm starting George Kittle. Tom looks like he pretty much was tough, but he got Jared Cook in a deal, so that seems to me that seems like his starter.
Jared Cook or
He has-
Fant
he has-
maybe,
maybe no.
or
Fant.
Doyle. You were talking about Doyle too.
Oh, that's right, with Phillip Rivers.
These a
Against
lot of
Jack-
these guys
against-
are all, like-
against Jacksonville too. I actually like Jack Doyle a lot, but I think benching Jared Cook is tough though.
I would do
I
it.
feel like
You'd bench Jared Cook.
I would probably take the shot.
he was
on
so
Jack
good. He
Doyle.
was so good the second half of 19.
You would start who, Luch?
I would take the shot on Jack Doyle.
Yeah, Phillip Rivers loves tight ends. Jack Doyle's perfect for him.
Well, you got the edge there, Mike. Looking at all this, I think your team slightly edges him out. So I'm gonna predict that you win this matchup.
Yes.
See, I'm going the other way. I think
Fuck.
Tom can do it.
So, Mike, what do you think? Obviously, you're probably gonna pick yourself, but
I mean,
if
I
you
don't know,
try
it's
to
tough.
go as
I mean-
an outside opinion,
I think Lamar. I think Lamar Jackson's so much better than anything I have at quarterback, and I would know just from having Lamar Jackson in different leagues that it doesn't matter what else you have. Lamar Jackson can win you fantasy matchups by himself. So I kind of think just based on that, and with it being week one, with everything might be so sloppy, I just think the quarterbacks are going to be like the most consistent position, I feel. So I think Lamar Jackson does give Tom that slight enough edge over everybody else that I think he takes it with that.
all right. Well, then that means we're picking Tom to win.
You're welcome. I mean, clearly I don't want that to happen, but
All right, let's speed through some of these other ones since they're not our matchups. We got Dennis and Phil.
fuck all these other guys.
Oh,
Let's
fuck.
get out of here.
Don't open fucking Phil's page.
If someone I'll pull up Dennis's team if someone wants to pull up Phil's team.
Mhm.
Dennis is QB, Kyler Murray, Daniel Jones. Also has Ryan Tannehill, so pick your guy you want there.
Well,
I think
for Dennis, yeah. I mean, Daniel Jones, Kyler Murray.
obviously Kyler, yeah. I think I'd go, man, that between Jones versus Pittsburgh and Tannehill at Denver, I'd probably go Daniel Jones.
Yeah. I just think Daniel Jones
Yeah.
has more upside than Ryan Tannehill, regardless of the matchup.
Yeah. Then what does Kyle have? I mean, not Kyle. Oh, sorry, Phil.
So Dak Prescott and Kirk Cousins.
That's actually
Who's
pretty even. I might give the edge to Phil there because Dak is better than
Dak,
I
Kyler.
mean,
Rams.
I mean, again, his only other option is Teddy Bridgewater, and are you starting Bridgewater over Cousins?
Cousins versus Green Bay wasn't good last year, but we'll see if that
Bridgewater
continues.
against Vegas.
Interesting.
I probably
I would need to see Bridgewater before I.
I probably go
starting him.
Cousins.
Regardless of the matchup. Although Cousins did say he doesn't care if he gets coronavirus. If he dies, he dies.
If I die, I die.
If he dies, he dies. So
it's a good
Kirk
thing
Cousins
Phil
gonna
has
make it
another
to
starter.
Week 1.
I don't know. I'm gonna give I'm gonna give Phil the edge here at QB just because Dak has the advantage. Kind of
Just-
similar how
yeah.
you're saying Lamar Jackson's better than everything else you have. I think. I mean, Kyler Murray is very good, but Dak is still ahead of him for me. Even
For now, he is because he's in a what
NFL,
seems like a better
NFL slacking, by the way.
offense,
Where's that Cowboys Giants Week 1 perennial matchup?
right? Everything about this year is weird, Mike.
Including that.
Yeah.
That. It was the Sunday night opener. How many 10 straight years?
All right, Dennis at running back. He's got Nick Chubb. He's got Melvin Gordon. He's got Jonathan Taylor. I mean, possibly not anymore. LaShawn McCoy probably could throw in that. Jerick McKinnon probably couldn't throw him in. So I would say Nick Chubb and Melvin Gordon week 1.
That's the safe one, yeah.
Yeah.
But like, does Dennis need safety? He might need upside.
I see Melvin Gordon's one of those, like, I don't know what they're going to do in Denver yet, and I know what his ability is, but
I mean,
just
they paid
I don't,
him, so that's the
I
thing.
don't, but I don't know the usage. Like, what are they gonna like? What are they gonna? I
A
feel like
guy
everybody's
getting $8
gonna
million a
bullshit.
year, I think, has to get used a decent amount. You know.
I mean, I don't know. And then Phil has Kenyon Drake, James Conner.
So
I mean, if you're gonna, do you flex Cam Akers, or is Cam Akers a running back too? I don't think so, not yet.
I don't think yet. Yeah.
So then he has his other options are Tevin Coleman and Rashad Penny. Oh, and
Yeah, it's
DeAndre
got to be
Swift.
James Conner, and he has DeAndre
Kenyon
Swift too,
Drake.
but you're not putting him in.
No, that's why. That's why I noticed DeAndre Swift. Yeah, no, Drake and Connor. I think
Conner
that-
versus the Giants, yeah, I'm fine with that.
Yeah, but I still think Dennis has the edge because James Conner, his usage last year was I know he was hurt, but they have so many guys there that
See,
I
I
think
think
that
that
I
was the
think
edge.
that they like.
Yeah,
Kenyon
I'm
Drake,
on,
I
think, is
I'm on
Phil.
Phil's side with this one.
What, Luch?
Are we
I'm on
sure
Phil's
Cliff
side.
Kingsbury's not going to like fall out of love with Kenyon Drake?
For what, Chase Edmonds?
Anybody?
Neil Benjamin?
For anybody?
I don't know. As
Like,
long
I
as we
feel
think
like
that Drake can get that usage, that's worth the most out of all of these. Maybe
I've said
not.
it before.
Maybe not
I've been,
worth more
I've
than
been,
Chubb.
I've been burned on Drake before that. I just still don't trust it yet.
Hmm.
I just don't know how much I trust Chubb versus Baltimore.
Right.
So, like, and Melvin Gordon versus Tennessee is okay. It's not great.
I mean, maybe it's a wash, but I don't know. I think
we could call it a wash. I think we're disagreeing enough here that it's a wash.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Moving on to wide receiver
Mhm.
for Dennis's team. He is most likely starting, obviously, Tyreek Hill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd assume he's starting T.Y. Hilton. He's
You're
got
starting.
choices
You're starting
of
Justin Jefferson week
Justin Jefferson probably, even though Justin Jefferson hasn't even been running with the first team. So I don't know, but I would assume you have to start Justin Jefferson probably. And then I don't think he's starting. Honestly, he might start Jonathan Taylor over any of these other wide receivers.
You comfortable with Taylor week 1?
Over these wide receivers, I think yes.
Okay.
Versus Jacksonville too. Jacksonville,
Mm.
they're just going to want to run like crazy to.
And
run
if
it
they,
out, so.
there is the chance that if they get ahead early, they could salt the game with him just to like give him game.
I know that's a good way. If they get up early, that's a good way to just get a good look at him in real NFL
Yeah.
action right away.
Right.
So I mean, I don't see another wide receiver I'd want to start. So I mean, Tyreek Hill is great against Houston, and then Hilton's playing Jacksonville too, so
that's a good matchup for sure.
And
I think I'm gonna give. I feel like I have to give Dennis the edge, just on. I feel like for Phil, so Allen Robinson.
That's good though. Allen Robinson is playing Detroit.
Yeah, and Odell Beckham against Baltimore. That's a little difficult, but it's still Odell Beckham.
Yeah.
But then it kind of drops off. You have Anthony. Then the projected starter I see is Anthony Miller, just based on Deebo Samuel's hurt, Alshon Jeffrey's hurt, and then it kind of is. I mean, I guess maybe you could start Michael Gallup, but then the rest of it kind of drops off.
I'd rather start Michael Gallup over Anthony Miller. I think
that's what I think. Yeah. I mean,
especially if he's starting. I don't want to start Anthony Miller and Allen Robinson.
You're right, and it was just me. I clicked the Fantasy Sharks link that's in like the lineup page. So I'm kind of just like reading through this to get the matchups.
Gotcha.
And for this website, it projects that he should start Robinson and Miller. That obviously I wouldn't do that either.
I think I'd be starting Gallup.
But yeah, he has Gallup, Riley Ridley, Brandon Ayuk, John
and he's
got
to start 4.
Maybe Preston Lamson. Maybe against the Pats if Parker's shadowed by Stephon Gilmore the whole time.
I don't know.
Maybe Preston Williams is sneaky.
I think this is more of a wash. I think Robinson and Beckham is enough of an advantage with those two guys that even though he doesn't have great things anywhere else, I don't think Dennis does either with Justin Jefferson. I think it just kind of
right.
Tyreek Hill is good too, like great. So I think it's all wash there.
If Deebo
so right now I'd say the only
cleared.
Phil has a slight edge just because of Cousins over Daniel Jones. That's such the smallest edge.
If Deebo gets cleared before week 1. Does he start him?
It's tough coming off an injury because what's his usage in week
I'd
1?
say I say yes over Gallup. I would start Deebo over Gallup if he's playing. I don't think it makes a significant difference to his team though, where it helps him that much in this matchup. Like Gallup and Samuel probably end up pretty close, or not 100% Samuel are pretty close.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Okay. And then moving on to tight end, Dennis has Travis Kelce.
Yeah, Phil has Hunter Henry. It's good, but no, Kelce.
Phil has Hayden Hurst too, but we haven't seen that.
I don't, but it doesn't. It doesn't
Kelce,
matter.
Yeah,
advantage Kelce.
Yeah, so
I give Dennis this matchup, but it's close.
I think I also give Dennis this matchup.
I am abstaining. Because it's too close to call. Photo finish.
Another good premier matchup.
Man, listen, if maybe Kansas City's in a blowout and guys don't get stats because or Kansas City's going to lose by 102 points because DraftKings is going to pay the Chiefs to blow it, so they don't have to pay out their promotion.
The Chiefs just decided they don't want to start any of their starters week 1 because they're not ready to play yet.
And if you're wondering what I'm talking about, go to New Jersey and sign up for DraftKings and throw $50 on the DraftKings promotion, Chiefs plus 101, and it's gonna actually pay a minus 110 line, so it's like a free $45 if you want free money.
Need some scratch. I say we skip over the Joey Anthony matchup.
We can't skip over it.
I'll pull up Anthony's shitty team.
I'll pull up Joey's.
We'll run through it quick because
Joey Russell Wilson at QB, and I guess he has a bunch of options here, but maybe Sam Darnold.
Yeah,
maybe. Against Buffalo, I don't like that.
That's true.
Gardner
Minshew. I guess Gardner Minshew probably right now. Yeah.
Who does Washington play again?
Philly.
Haskins?
I think Gardner Minshew.
Yeah.
With no defense. And no running back.
I like Haskins as a passer, but he's got a bad offensive line, and the dude's a statue. He'll get murdered.
What does Anthony have at QB? Carr and Watson?
Deshaun Watson and Derek Carr. I think I give the advantage to Anthony, actually.
I don't think I do.
I'm going
I don't know.
Joey.
I like Watson as the best quarterback overall.
I think this is a complete... over Russell Wilson against Atlanta? I think it's a complete wash.
I don't know. I mean, Houston got into a shootout with Kansas City in the playoffs. Same thing could happen.
Yeah. I mean, if both are a shootout, I think Russell Wilson is better I think Russell Wilson has better pieces.
I also think, to that point, Mike,
well, I mean,
that game has kept B.O.B. up at night ever since the playoffs, and he's going to like play it as slow as possible.
Yeah.
Do you think Deshaun Watson takes a fantasy hit without Hopkins, or does he stay the same?
He takes a minor hit.
Yeah. Unless Will Fuller plays a full 16 games, then I don't think he takes a hit.
Not
Because
happening.
Since I was watching those games for Hopkins, the amount of times when Will Fuller was in, I was getting so angry that they weren't using Hopkins enough because they used Will Fuller so much.
Yeah, I agree. If they can get a full season out of Fuller and at least like half a season out of Cooks, then he'll probably be a minor hit.
Yeah. I'm calling these QB for this matchup though. I'm calling these QBs a wash. Moving on to running backs.
I'm just going to say right now, Joey advantage Joey, but go on.
CMC, yeah, CMC, and it doesn't even matter who else he starts.
Yep.
Maybe Antonio Gibson,
Ronald Jones.
RIP. It doesn't matter. Just one guy, CMC, beats out Anthony. Yeah, all right.
He's going to outscore. So Fantasy Sharks is projecting Anthony to start Sony Michel and Justin Jackson.
Yeah, no thanks.
All right, cool.
He has. I mean, his only other real option is Latavius Murray.
He's got Zach Moss. And
Maybe
Lamar
Zach
Miller.
Moss breaks out, but not week 1. Is Lamar Miller still hurt?
No, he came back.
Yeah.
Oh, he did. Either way, projected 0. Peyton Barber, not going to do shit.
Boom, Joey.
Yeah. All right.
Gio Bernard, exactly.
Joey's wide receivers. We've got Kenny Galladay against who are they playing again? Detroit.
Oh God, Chicago.
Oh, okay.
That's rough.
Yeah. Kenny. Oh my God, I need to get rid of some of these tabs.
Paris Campbell. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Sorry, yeah. Paris Campbell is a possibility. BC Johnson, I guess. Christian Kirk, Terry McLaurin, obviously. Those are Christian Kirk and Terry McLaurin are probably the two guys. And he probably would start another one, you know. So
I'll give Joey the edge, and maybe it's a little closer. I mean, Anthony has Juju Smith-Schuster. Is Mike Williams gonna be ready for week 1? I don't know.
So.
No.
Yeah, that's shoulder. So then next guys up for him are Curtis Samuel and Hollywood Brown.
Hollywood Brown, absolutely, he'd play.
Yeah.
I mean, Curtis Samuel against the Raiders.
I don't think he plays Curtis Samuel.
Yeah, it's Deshaun Hamilton, Adam Humphries, Van Jefferson, Steven Sims.
I would start Steven Sims.
Yeah.
I think he's de facto wide receiver 2. Who else is there that's made a step?
Not just that, but like I said before, the Philly pass rush is gonna get to Haskins. Dude doesn't move. Sims is their slot receiver right now.
Yeah, I think that Joey probably has the edge then.
Yeah,
I don't even know though. Yeah, Galladay over Juju.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess Joey's
even with the
edge.
matchup, Galladay's just
Yeah, true.
Tight end.
Tight end on Joey's team is Mike Gesicki.
Very sad.
That's a solid start. I mean, who else is getting targets besides Parker and Preston Williams?
Matt Breida. Isaiah Ford.
Is he going to get that many?
I think so.
What was that guy's name that I played that one week? Who was that running back that used to be on the
Patrick Laird?
Yeah, Patrick Laird.
The Laird and Savior.
He was so bad. Well, Anthony has T.J. Hawkinson.
Yeah, I like Gesicki better. I'm giving even against New England.
I think it's a wash.
I don't like his other options. Ryan Griffin, Vance McDonald, and Darren Fells. Yeah,
well,
T.J. Hawkinson.
I think Joey wins this entire matchup because of Christian McCaffrey, and that's all that is.
Yeah, I agree.
Yep.
All right, Joey. Final matchup, another big rivalry. Nick and Alex Hochberg.
The biggest
I'll pull
rivalry.
up Nick's team. What do you say?
I'll pull up Peanuts' team.
I'll go for it.
All right.
Nick as QB, Aaron Rodgers, Jimmy Garoppolo.
Well,
that's it.
That's almost literally it. Who knows if this lower body injury for Carson Wentz, does he start Hurts over
Jalen Hurts? That's true. What if Carson Wentz isn't able to play?
Yeah,
I'm not starting Jalen Hurts though. In that case, I'm benching every single Philadelphia Eagles player besides Miles Sanders if he's even playing.
Yeah, their whole offense.
And who does
Peanut
Alex
has
have?
Ryan Fitzpatrick, Baker Mayfield, Matt Stafford, and James Winston. That's Stafford and Mayfield. I would have gone with Fitzpatrick, but I don't like that against New England.
I think I like Nick's QBs better.
I think it's closer than you think.
I think it's a
I
wash,
don't know.
yeah.
Yeah,
Because
think
I
Stafford and
love
Mayfield are-
Stafford.
Yeah.
I think Mayfield against Baltimore is awful.
Jimmy Garoppolo is awful.
Jimmy Garoppolo's at least playing Arizona
Mm,
and they're at home. Not that that matters that much, but still, it's against Arizona.
I think Jimmy Garoppolo is the only quarterback that we can confidently say has a very good chance of getting fewer yards through the air than his running backs will on the ground.
Yeah. All right. Fine. We'll call it a wash. Moving on to Nick's running backs, he will be starting as assuming he's playing Alvin Kamara, Austin Eckler, and Todd Gurley. Those three 100% in. He's got a couple other options. Chris Thompson now with Jacksonville could possibly go, and we talked about that earlier. I mean, Tariq Cohen if he really wanted to, Matt Breida if he really wanted to. But I would say just those three: Eckler, Kamara, Gurley are his guys that are playing.
Yeah. Peanut has Chris Carson, CEH, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, and I mean he has Kerryon Johnson and Phillip Lindsay as like possible back end guys.
I like Kerryon Johnson the first few weeks of the season just because I feel like I'm reading DeAndre Swift's having like a minor injury issue, nothing crazy, but I think for at least like maybe like the first quarter to third, I like Kerryon Johnson a lot actually. I think Swift's going to take a little bit to catch on. He takes over the role, but I think to start the season, I like Kerryon Johnson a lot.
I'd say Nick has a big edge here, though.
Well, Nick has the edge, but just to kind of comment on one dude,
Yeah,
I don't think Alex is as terrible as maybe we thought.
No. I mean, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Chris Carson's pretty good combo.
Right, he gets a huge boost with Damian Williams obviously opting out, but
yeah. So
because who's the next guy up there? DeAndre Washington.
Darrell Williams.
They're saying DeAndre Washington's probably not making the team.
He's okay. He's probably getting cut.
So,
Darrell Williams.
Darrell Williams, and then they have Darwin Thompson still.
Oh, that's right.
Who I think is the same thing as a Justice Hill. Like it's probably.
They loved him last year. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know Dynasty subreddit loved him. I'm gonna give Nick the edge. Yep.
Yeah.
Moving on to wide receivers, Nick has a pretty good group of wide receivers here to start. He's got Amari Cooper, Will Fuller, Cooper Kupp, and let's see. Oh, well, that would be the three. Yeah, Cooper Kupp, Amari Cooper, Cooper Kupp,
Amari Cooper Kupp,
and Will Fuller.
Will Fuller, big boost for Nick. You know, even though Nick, you know what Nick keeps saying, making no moves, but look now.
Yeah, and then who does Peanut have?
Let's see. The players that he's going to start probably going to be Tyler Lockett, Cortland Sutton, and question mark. He's got maybe Alan Lazard or Sammy Watkins or.
I can't start Sammy Watkins.
Can you start Alan Lazard?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Over
is
Sammy
Alan
Watkins,
Lazard.
I think.
I don't know.
That's all he's got. Otherwise, he's a lot of like developmental upside guys.
Well, I mean, Nick's got this huge advantage here than a wide receiver.
Yeah, no, big time Nick.
I will say, Kupp is hurt. So if he doesn't start week one, then
What?
Cooper Kupp is hurt.
Oh, that's true. Well, I mean, Nick also has. Let's see, who else does he have here that could possibly go in? Jerry Jeudy, if he wanted. Golden Tate. I mean, even if Cooper Kupp doesn't play, I think Cooper and Fuller are a clear advantage over his Alex's guys.
Yeah.
Okay, and then the final position on our final matchup, tight end. Nick has most likely, I guess you'd start between O.J. Howard, Tyler Eifert, and Cole Kmet. I guess O.J. Howard, even though it's
sucks,
miserable.
Though. And what do you know? Look at the other side.
Tyler Eifert.
You'd start Tyler Eifert?
Yeah.
You start him over Gronk?
Yeah, I guess. You're right, week one, probably.
Oh, no. for Peanut, it's Gronk, Dawson Knox, and Irv Smith.
Yeah, Gronk.
Yeah, kind of gotta go Gronk. It sucks because I would want to start Irv Smith, but I don't think I would.
I don't think I can yet.
Well, hold on. What? Well, I feel like any Minnesota player, like what time is Minnesota's game? Okay, it's not in prime time. You're
yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, obviously Alex get the advantage here, but is it enough to overcome the advantages that Nick had at running back wide receiver?
I think Nick takes this.
So do I. All right, well then, based on our projections, me, Dennis, Joey, Tom, Lucho, and Nick all with a win, and Mike Mao, a big loss week 1.
I mean, hey, listen. If I'm gonna lose to someone, let me lose to one of the better teams.
If I die,
I mean,
die.
to be fair, by the time it's week 1, I'm probably gonna have a fucking child to take care of. But
That's true. Maybe week 2.
Maybe. Who knows though? I don't fucking know.
I mean, I bet on the what day did I bet on? The 20th. So
yeah.
Hopefully not until after week 2.
That's true.
Or no, the 20th is week 2.
Oh, that's true. I already told you that it'll probably happen on a Sunday, and I said you have full authority to just set like my best possible lineup if I can't.
Yeah, I'll go by this Fantasy Sharks thing.
Please don't. This is a terrible website. I already set my week. I set my week 1 lineup already just to be safe, so I didn't forget.
Yeah, I set mine a while ago too.
Because I realized, I remembered it doesn't default you anything. If you don't set it, you have a nice 0. But I made sure to do that just for the sake of it. But yeah, no, those are the matchups. If I lose, it is what it is.
I know. Really quick, I just want to look at week 2. Lucha, you'd be going into playing Lucho then week 2, so it's another tough matchup too.
That is.
Wow, Mike, another loss?
What?
What's that?
I said, wow, Mike, another loss?
I can't start 0-0. Listen, what is it? It doesn't matter. I was shitty, and then I had to like make that comeback last year just to sneak into the playoffs.
So. You and me were wild cards last year, so you don't have to start fast.
It is what it is. And then listen, who the fuck knows what's gonna, like we've said it, it's the entire life of this podcast, because it's the coronavirus podcast of you never know what game's gonna get postponed. So all this analysis might mean bullshit.
Right.
Just look how baseball started.
Are you calling this analysis? Because I'm not.
Well, analysis.
Speaking of calling this, my internet is going to shit.
Yeah, so let's Mike, you could close us out so we can save anyone else who might possibly still be listening to us.
Sorry this one sucked. Maybe Zoom will be free by the time we do this again.
Yeah, maybe we'll bring a guest on again next time so that we can just when we have nothing to talk about, we'll just have our guest talk about.
Or if I'm not here, if there's a child, I'm probably have someone take my spot for temporarily. So there's that.
Mm-hmm.
Just when I have
Dennis or Tom.
Yeah, just when I have the ring light here, I have the windscreen for the mic, all this stuff that I spent little money on because
now you need to soundproof your walls.
I'm not doing. Yeah, there's no chance. I'm not even gonna do it in this room anymore. I'll move it to like the front.
You should build like a box that you could put over your desk here.
I'll build it like the stupid medical tents on the sideline.
Yes.
Just have that.
Make sure you have a window that goes to your TV so you can continue to look over to your left.
Yeah. Well, I had Colorado Dallas on. They're going to Game 7.
Yeah, Colorado won, right?
Yeah. But yeah, so hey, sorry for the shitty internet connections and probably terrible podcast. It's probably our worst one out of the 14 we've done, but fuck it, don't care. Have a good one, everybody.
Oh, fuck.
Okay. Oh.
Bye.